It's like that white black bitch that's in the news all the time. Rachel Dolezal. She always says that. She's a white woman.
Welcome to Pegasus versus the World, where we take on challenges, comedy, trending topics, and some travel.
City boy, city boy.
All right, we're back with Dave Chappelle crushes woke culture again. This is part 2. I did the first part of this video, and he's going in, man. Dave Chappelle spits some of the real. Like, I don't agree with him on all of his takes, you know, but it is what it is. Like, I get it. Like, some stuff I really rock with, but for the most part, I think he sprinkles truth into his comedy, no matter what, and it speaks volumes. You know what I'm saying? Whether you agree with him or not, you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I rock with Dave Chappelle. I think he's one of the greatest comedians ever. And I'm not just saying that to gaslight on YouTube. Like, he is legit one of the craziest comedians. I actually went and saw him at Red Rocks in Colorado, and I remember he finished his set. And I don't know if it was his birthday or I think it was his birthday, and he had Biz Markie come out, start DJing, and then he started freestyling a set, just talking to the audience, you know, doing some crowd work, but some jokes he probably has stored. He just started killing again. I'm like, this dude is incredible. Anyways, my wifey got sick, and I had to leave early, and that was the day that I was like, I don't know if I... All right. Let's get it popping, though. This is Dave Chappelle crushes woke culture again. This is on a channel called the Woke Watch. So we'll see what's populating with it. If you want to support me, like, share, comment, or subscribe on the video, or check the description for my other channels. But let's get this one moving. See where we at. Dave Chappelle crushes woke culture again.
Black bitch that's in the news all the time. Rachel Dolezal. She always says that. She's a white woman, but then she dressed up like a nigga and shot her way up to the very top of blackness. And I always wanted to meet her just so I could understand. I just wanted to, like, have dinner with her so I could just look in her eyes and call her to her face.
Yo! Damn. He really did that, huh? He really said that. All right. He said the hard ER, y'all. I'm going to have to bleep that one out, or I'm going to take a L. I'm going to take a L on this joint.
The that talking about, I identify black. That is trans talk, ladies. Stop biting. Stop biting. There's a big difference between her and a trans. The difference between her and a trans is I believe transgenders. I don't understand them either, but I know they mean what they say. Them niggas cut their dicks off. That's all the proof I need. I've never seen somebody just throw their dick away. Don't need it.
That's crazy.
It's like showing up at a cookout, claiming your family without bringing a single dish. As Dave sees it, some things just don't work by dressing the part. If you want a seat at the table, you'll need more than just a new look and a convincing story.
On network television.
That's facts. The commentator on this, though, is like, I don't know. It doesn't engage. Like, I don't get engaged hearing this commentary. He speaks too slow, and then his vocal tone, it just has no energy. But yeah, I mean, what he's saying ain't wrong with that take, you know, just because you look the part, you know, it's just funny. It's just ironic. Like, that's how things work in today's society, where all of it is just clown world when you think about it. It's really clown world, right? That's just, now that I think about that whole scenario of the Rachel Dolezal, like literally a white lady just rising to the top of the ranks in the black world, which it's just like, Yo, man, that's just crazy when you think about it. Anyway, whatever. Let's go.
Television, they have a department that's called Standards and Practices. This is the department that tells you what you can and cannot say on television. And if you're doing your job well, you should never hear from them. But if you're making a Chappelle show, you'll hear from these all the time. And remember, this is 15 years ago. I made a mistake. I didn't even know I had done anything wrong. I had written a sketch that had the word in it. So I had to go to Standards and Practices. They called me up. I don't know why they're calling me, but I like the lady that runs the department. She's usually really fair and was one of my favorite people I've ever worked with. So she sits me down. We have a nice conversation. She tells me, oh, the sketches are great. I go, oh, fantastic. Well, then why am I here? She said, because, David, there's no way that you can ever say the word on our network. I didn't know I did anything wrong. I didn't try to defend myself. I said, all right, take it out. Have a good afternoon. And as I was leaving, it occurred to me, hey, Renee, quick question. It's just a question. Seriously, I want to know, like, why is it that I can say the word with impunity, but I can't say the word?
I talked about this in part 1. You see, this what's crazy is how the way they're able to implement these rules for certain protected communities is really interesting. Because what he said happens on YouTube. When comedians just jokingly say the F word that rhymes with Bob Saget, your videos immediately get demonetized. And the cool thing is, well, this ain't cool, but on YouTube now, when it gets demonetized, you can go see why, and it'll show you the section. It's like, oh, because he said the F word that rhymes with Bob Saget. Y'all know what it is. However, people can drop the N-bomb with the hard ER, you know, like not over, you can't say the N-word with the hard ER in like certain form, but like black comedians could joke and say it, and it doesn't get the video demonetized. This is the point he's making. This is the point he's making. I said this on the first one without knowing that he was going to make this point, and it's valid. It's just funny. And then what's crazy is the control mechanisms to do the protection, because everyone lives through social media and online. So it's just funny. And with comedians, I do feel like they should be able to say whatever they want to say. You know, I believe in free speech, but people will be like, well, free speech has consequence. And I just think, look, if it does have consequence, like at least be level across the playing board, right? Because I'm speaking from facts, from being on YouTube, and straight up, like when I get, like, black comedians will be dropping the N-bomb, going crazy, video suitable, monetizable. But when you see a black comedian or a white comedian say the F word, it's game over for your video. It's demonetized. Ads not suitable, blah, blah, blah. I just think it's funny how they play these games in real life as well, is all around you. And a lot of people don't even know it because they're not a YouTuber, or they're not a person who, generates money from Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. So they don't really know how it works. But behind the scenes, there's things being structured. So basically, you only see and hear certain things, and certain narratives just get bigger and bigger and bigger for perception. It's interesting.
Why is it that I can say the word with impunity?
N-word. He's talking about the N-word.
But I can't say the word.
You got to remember, he did a whole sketch of the N-word family with the hard ER. And they're like, oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's amazing, Dave. You make amazing content. But the moment he said the other word, oh, no. Ironic, huh?
And she said, because, David, you are not gay. I said, well, Renee, I'm not either.
Now that's flipping the script.
Yeah.
They told him one word was off.
All right, I'm going to see, like, I'm going to upload this. I'm going to have to get a manual review, and this will be proof, you guys. Like, if I have to edit it out, then it is what it is. They stepped up. But even the person who edited this video knew. They edited this video knowing you cannot say the F word, and they let him put the N word in here. So if this video drops, because I'm about my bread, so if this video drops and you heard the N-word, you know that they didn't demonetize this video. Anyways.
Limits. So Dave hits them with the ultimate comeback, exposing the double standard in one line flat.
There's a problem in that feminist movement, isn't there? From its inception in America, there's always been a racial component. When Susan B. Anthony was having that meeting and Sojourner Truth's black showed up, read your history books. All them white women asked Sojourner Truth not to speak. They didn't want to conflate the issues of women's rights and slavery. But you know how black bitches are. Sojourner Truth went up there anyway. She did a famous speech. She said, "Ain't I a woman?" I supported the Me Too movement, but the whole time I thought that the way they handled that was stupid. They were going to the Golden Globes, and all of them would be like, let's all go to the Golden Globes and wear black dresses to give these men a piece of our minds. That is not gonna work. You think Martin Luther King's gonna be like, I want everybody to keep riding the bus, but wear matching outfits?
Oh, snap. He's wildin'.
You gotta get off the bus and walk. It's real talk. Real talk, that was a silly movement. I want everybody to wear crochet so they know we're serious. And then I said something about it in one of my specials, and all these women actresses came after me. I said, man, Phil, you canceled. I ain't to none of your pictures again. They were like, who is he to tell us anything? I'll tell you exactly who I am. I'm the one that got off the bus and left $50 million on the bus and walked. I agreed with these women. I just didn't agree with what they were doing about. Because if these women were serious, you know what they would have done? They all would have fired their agents. And they would have went to the mailroom of one of these big agencies and found a woman that was busting her hump in there and said, if you want to talk to us, then you have to talk to her. And if they did that, then she would be big and they would be big and nobody would get fed to Harvey Weinstein. But did they do that? No.
As Chappelle points out, real change isn't about following the rules or playing it safe. It's about speaking the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more videos from Woke. We're back with
what he was talking about at the end. I actually really feel that, because you do notice this in Hollywood and entertainment specifically. You know, I think they call it virtue signaling, where people will go do these things and let's say it might be for the right reason, not all the time, but let's say it's for the right reason in the example I'm making here. But instead of pursuing it in a way that can actually create real change or actually really do something, they take on these antics that are they're just ignorant. It's just virtue signaling. You know, and at that point, you start to wonder, are they really about the cause or the movement? Because this don't even make sense the way they're approaching it. And that's what Dave Chappelle is talking about here with that part specifically. You know, again, I think there's something to be highlighted in this concept of the N word versus the F word. And I think there's a separation there within both those communities. And I personally believe it's just because, you know, the community that faced the N word definitely faced a lot more persecution, a lot more things in American history, right? Not saying they both haven't faced persecution at some capacity, but the truth of the matter is, you can't hide your race, but you can, you know, hide your sexuality, basically. And so when they, you know, combine these two things, I think there's a conversation to be had about it. That's just what it is. Like, I think there's a conversation to be had because, you know, I just think it's interesting. Like, they try to clump all these things together. And, you know, I'm not saying they don't each have, you know, certain important parts. My thing is, like, being American means freedom, right? So people need to be free to live and be what they want to be, right? So I don't care about your sexuality, which way you swing, all these different things. But also, we have to do things in a logical sense, right? So, you know, I'm always going to, and that's why I've been doing these videos lately, because I think there should be a little pushback on, you know, even people trying to figure out what bathroom a man should be allowed in, you know, stuff like that. I think these topics need to be discussed and addressed so that we can just move on, man. You know, it's weird. It feels like America and the Western world in general is backpedaling, and it's literally because of this woke style of thinking, and it doesn't have balance. That's the problem with the woke stuff. Like, some of the stuff and the concepts are okay. It's okay to have compassion. It's okay for people to wanting people to be free without persecution and do their damn thing. But then it goes past that, where it's like, oh, like they try to, you know, blur the lines of actual biology and stuff like that. That's when it becomes problematic. So I think that's why these topics go kind of wild on the internet, because you know, there, in my opinion, there is an indoctrination going on, because this isn't even, typically these aren't even arguments. Like, oh, that's a logical point, cool, got it, you know. But people will get in these comments and argue, you know, why this person should be in the female bathroom, and you know, and you're just like, okay, that's where we at now. Anyways, you guys let me know what I got, what I missed. That was Dave Chappelle, Crushes Woke Culture again. Yeah.
City boy, city boy.